There are objects in your home that don't just reflect your appearance. They reflect your entire energy field. Take mirrors, for example. Most Americans see them as simple home decor, something functional for getting ready in the morning or checking your outfit before that important Zoom call. But here's what ancient wisdom and modern energy practitioners have understood for millennia. Mirrors aren't just reflective glass. They're energetic portals between what's seen and unseen. Sacred amplifiers that can duplicate not just your physical image, but your spiritual frequency too. Have you ever stopped to wonder what kind of energy you might be duplicating in your home without even realizing it? When you strategically place a mirror in your living space, what you're really doing is hitting the multiply button on whatever vibration that space holds. If your mirror is reflecting chaos, that pile of Amazon packages you haven't opened, bills scattered on your kitchen counter, or your teenager's backpack explosion by the front door, that's exactly the energy getting amplified throughout your home. But when it reflects beauty, natural light streaming through your windows, or symbols of the abundance you're working toward, that positive frequency gets broadcasted on repeat. It's like having a silent radio tower in your home, constantly transmitting your vibrational message to the universe. That's why mirror placement isn't just an interior design choice, it's an energetic ritual. A feng shui master I studied with in San Francisco once told me, "Show me what your mirrors reflect, and I'll show you exactly what you're manifesting in your life." And honestly, he was spot on. That conversation completely changed how I see mirrors. I stopped viewing them as mere functional objects and started recognizing them as spiritual allies, partners in creating the reality I actually want. And you can develop this same awareness. So I want you to pause right now and ask yourself, what energy are you unconsciously duplicating in your daily environment? Here's one of the most common mistakes I see Americans making in their homes: placing a mirror directly facing the front entrance. I totally get why people do this. It makes your entryway appear larger and brighter, which is great for those smaller apartments or older homes. But from an energetic standpoint, it's like installing a deflector shield that bounces away every bit of prosperity trying to enter your life. Good energy, opportunities, abundance, they all arrive at your doorstep and get immediately redirected back out. It's as if the universe is knocking with a delivery of blessings, and you're accidentally slamming the door without even knowing it. Could this be why you sometimes feel like opportunities slip away just as quickly as they appear? Another incredibly sensitive location is your bathroom. If you've got mirrors reflecting your toilet, cluttered vanity counters covered with expired skincare products, or that medicine cabinet that's practically bursting open, you're amplifying energies of waste, disorganization, and constant drainage. Think about it. Bathrooms are literally where things get flushed away. Even in your kitchen, if mirrors are reflecting your overflowing trash bin, that stack of dirty dishes from last night's dinner party, or your junk drawer that's been chaos since you moved in 3 years ago, you're multiplying disorder on an energetic level. And eventually, that chaotic frequency starts showing up in your bank account, your relationships, even your mental clarity. Picture this. Imagine your mirror functions like a high-powered amplifier at a concert. Whatever it sees gets broadcast at maximum volume throughout your entire energetic field. What kind of song is your home singing to the universe right now? If your mirrors are reflecting what you definitely don't want more of, you're essentially self-sabotaging your own energy without even being aware of it. Take a moment right now. Seriously, pause and mentally walk through your home. Is there a mirror somewhere that's reflecting more problems than possibilities? Here's the thing though, mirrors don't get to choose what they show, but you absolutely get to choose what you position in front of them. And that choice? It changes everything. The real magic happens when you become intentional about what gets reflected. When your mirror captures a thriving snake plant, your dining table set with your grandmother's china, a candle you light during your evening wind-down routine, or that vision board you finally hung up, that positive energy gets projected and doubled throughout your space. Your mirror transforms from a passive object into an active amplifier of your deepest intentions and desires. So here's my question. What would you rather see multiplied in your life, chaos or creation? I see this all the time. People unknowingly have mirrors reflecting unmade beds. We've all been there. Stacks of mail that need attention, empty walls that feel lifeless, or workspaces buried under the stress of deadline pressures. That imagery speaks directly to feelings of exhaustion, creative blocks, and life stagnation. But here's where it gets exciting. When you deliberately position a mirror to reflect something symbolically powerful, maybe your meditation corner, a beautiful arrangement of seasonal flowers, your bookshelf filled with stories that inspire you, or even a simple handwritten note with your biggest goal for this year, you're essentially programming the universe with your intentions. You're saying, this energy, this feeling, this reality, this is what I want to multiply in my life. And the universe, like the most sophisticated ecosystem imaginable, responds in kind. I'll never forget Maria, a client from Austin who decided to reposition a mirror in her dining room. Every evening when her family gathered for dinner, which, let's be honest, in today's busy world, was maybe 3 times a week between soccer practice and work meetings, that mirror reflected their connection, their gratitude, their togetherness. Within a month, Maria told me something had shifted. Family conversations were flowing easier. Her teenage kids were actually staying at the table longer. The whole house felt more alive, more connected. What would happen if you made similarly intentional choices about what deserves to be reflected and amplified in your space? Here's something most interior designers never talk about, but it's pure energetic gold: your dining room mirror placement. According to traditional feng shui principles, positioning a mirror so it reflects your dining table is one of the most powerful abundance magnets you can create in your home. Why does this work so beautifully? Because that reflection represents nourishment, family connection, gratitude, and the full experience of having your needs met. When your mirror doubles that image, you're sending a clear message to the universe. Thank you for this abundance I'm already receiving, and yes, I'm absolutely ready for twice as much of this good energy in my life. Another incredibly potent spot is anywhere that reflects what I call your sacred space. And this doesn't have to be some elaborate altar situation. Maybe it's a simple shelf where you keep your favorite candles, that collection of crystals you've been drawn to, books that have changed your perspective, a plant that's been thriving under your care, or just a corner where you sit with your morning coffee and set intentions for the day. When your mirror doubles that connection to your inner wisdom and spiritual practice, you're creating what I like to think of as an energetic amplification field. Your mirror becomes like a cosmic satellite dish, broadcasting your conscious intentions and attracting experiences that match that frequency. Let me share David's story. He's a teacher from Denver who positioned his mirror to reflect a wall where he'd hung inspirational quotes from his students, photos from family vacations, and artwork that genuinely made him smile every time he walked by. He told me that within just a few days, he noticed he was feeling more optimistic when he got home from school. But here's the really interesting part. 2 weeks later, he got a call about a teaching position at a school he'd dreamed of working at for years. The principal had heard about his innovative classroom methods from another teacher. Coincidence? When you're living with this level of intentionality, I don't believe in coincidences anymore. But here's the crucial part most people skip. You can't just position your mirror and forget about it. You need to energetically activate it, like awakening a sleeping guardian who's been waiting for your conscious attention. The activation ritual starts with what I call an energetic cleansing. Get a clean microfiber cloth and some purified water mixed with a pinch of sea salt. You can find this at any grocery store in the cooking aisle. As you're cleaning the mirror surface, repeat this intention. You reflect only light. You amplify only blessings. Do this mindfully, not as a rushed chore, but as if you're awakening an ancient ally. Because in many ways, that's exactly what you're doing. Next, choose either a Friday evening or Sunday morning. Both are powerful times for setting intentions. Light a white candle in front of your mirror. You don't need anything fancy. Even a simple white votive from the dollar store works perfectly. Beside the candle, place something that symbolizes abundance to you. This could be a shiny penny you found on the sidewalk, a piece of citrine if you're into crystals, a bay leaf from your spice cabinet, or even a small piece of paper with your financial goal written on it. Close your eyes and spend a few minutes visualizing your entire home filled with warm, golden light, as if your mirror has become a beacon radiating prosperity into every room, every corner, every aspect of your life. Take 3 deep breaths and speak this affirmation aloud with genuine feeling. I am completely open and ready to receive all the abundance, opportunities, and joy that life wants to bring me. Repeat this simple ritual every time you do your weekend cleaning, or whenever you feel like the energy in your space has gotten heavy or stagnant. It takes maybe 10 minutes, but the energetic impact can be profound. Like all truly transformative practices, it's elegantly simple yet surprisingly powerful. And if you approach it with genuine intention rather than skepticism, be prepared. Things in your life may start shifting in ways you didn't expect. Are you ready to become an active witness to your own energetic transformation? Let me tell you about Rebecca's experience. She's a single mom from Phoenix who'd been struggling financially for months after her divorce. She'd tried everything she could think of, applied for dozens of jobs, taken on freelance work, even started selling items she no longer needed. But somehow, abundance felt like it was actively avoiding her. Then she decided to move this mirror that had been sitting unused in her hallway closet. She cleaned it using the method I just described, activated it with intention, and positioned it where it reflected her kitchen table, the place where she and her 8-year-old daughter shared breakfast every morning before school. She approached the whole thing with cautious hope, not expecting miracles but willing to try something different. Within a week, Rebecca got a call from a former colleague about a contract position that hadn't even been posted yet. The following week, she received a check she'd completely forgotten about, a refund from her car insurance company. Then her landlord offered her a rent reduction in exchange for helping manage some of the building's administrative tasks. None of these were massive windfalls, but collectively, they created breathing room she hadn't had in months. I honestly don't know if it was the mirror, my shifted mindset, or just finally catching some good luck, she told me during a follow-up conversation. But the look in her eyes told a different story. She'd reconnected with her own power to influence her circumstances. Sometimes a single intentional action creates a ripple effect that awakens entirely new possibilities. Maybe the mirror itself isn't the magic. Maybe it's what the mirror represents, a decision to stop being passive about your environment and start consciously creating the energy you want to live in. What if that one small change you make this weekend becomes the catalyst for your next major breakthrough? Are you curious enough to find out? Because often the things that transform our lives are hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to see them with fresh eyes. So how do you know if your mirror has successfully activated abundance energy in your space? Don't expect dramatic movie-like moments where money literally falls from the sky, though hey, stranger things have happened. The shifts are usually more subtle but unmistakably real. You'll start noticing opportunities that were always there but somehow invisible before. A neighbor mentions a side gig that could bring in extra income. You spot a help wanted sign at a coffee shop you visit regularly, or you remember a skill you have that people might actually pay for. Conversations in your home start feeling lighter, less charged with underlying tension. There's a sense that everyone can breathe a little easier. Your relationship with money begins shifting too. Even when finances are still tight, somehow what you have stretches further. You make smarter decisions without really trying. You find yourself less anxious about financial security and more creative about generating income. You might also start experiencing what psychologists call meaningful coincidences, seeing repeated number sequences like 1111 or 333, running into people who mention exactly what you need to hear, getting sudden flashes of insight about projects or problems you've been stuck on. Maybe you'll notice that situations which used to feel impossible to navigate suddenly have clear solutions presenting themselves. It's as if invisible barriers are dissolving and pathways are opening that weren't accessible before. That's your sign, when life starts flowing with less friction and more synchronicity. And no, this isn't wishful thinking or confirmation bias. What's happening is that your personal energy field is reorganizing itself around new patterns. Your home environment is now broadcasting a different frequency to the universe, and you're beginning to attract experiences that match that vibration. Have you ever noticed how making one positive change often leads to a cascade of other improvements? That's the principle at work here. If you've experienced something similar after making a conscious change in your living space, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now, I'm genuinely curious about you. What state are you reading this from? I love discovering how this community stretches across the entire country, from Maine to California, from Alaska to Florida. There's something beautiful about knowing we're all working on raising our vibration and creating more intentional lives, regardless of whether we're in a Manhattan studio apartment or a farmhouse in Iowa. And if this message resonated with something deep inside you, if you felt that little spark of recognition or excitement about the possibilities, please leave this phrase in the comments. In my home, only what I want to attract gets reflected. Write it with intention, not just as a casual comment, because every word we speak and write carries energetic weight. Each phrase becomes part of the vibrational frequency we're putting out into the world. And definitely hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming content. We're going to keep exploring powerful but practical ways to transform your energy, optimize your living space for success, and create a life that actually aligns with your biggest dreams and goals. Because here's what I know for sure. Your environment is either supporting your highest potential or limiting it. There's no neutral ground.